All right. All right. It's recording now, and again, I do ask for patience if you do get to hear a dog going off at the distance. It's not mine. It's my neighbor's. Um, but yeah, this is thank you for coming by to Just Chatting if you are here live. And if you are not, I do remind you that I stream almost every day on Twitch, usually late at night, my time, which is Central American time. But anyway, if you want to come true, then I'll appreciate it. If not, then you can chat with me in the comments anyway. I guess not real time, but you can go ahead and do so. Um, yeah, I like my hair tonight. I have a couple of ideas and subjects that I want to touch upon because, to be perfectly honest, and I enjoy doing these little segments again just to rant and hear people ranting if they want to go ahead and do so. If they want to touch upon a subject with me, or maybe they just want to vent. I like I'm for real willing to listen to um what people have to say. But if that doesn't happen, then I just go off with my life. Um, I mentioned in one of my past streams, I think that it was while I was playing Genshin actually. I think it was even on the mission for the lighting license that I was feeling a bit down. But I never touched upon the subject because I didn't want to bring everybody else down. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I just went ahead and went off with my stream. But first of all, I've been enjoying so much streaming. It's been super fun, for sure. It's been, probably like one of the highlights of my day. To whenever I get the chance, whenever I have the time, which has been quite fairly frequently recently. Um, it's been quite fun. I do have to say that. I do have to admit it. So it's a wonderful thing to be doing this right now. Um, and I've been enjoying a lot of the Genshin content and also like the Dokkan content that we've done so far. Those are the main games that we put out almost daily essentially. Um, Probably Dokkan is gonna take a break from time to time because sometimes there is not enough content. Meanwhile, on Genshin there's so much to do, and I also have a lot of other games that I want to play. But I've been having a lot of fun doing so. However, I guess like I'm gonna say the most obvious and cliche thing that anybody has ever said in their entire lives, and that is that we're all humans, and sometimes shit gets in the way, and sometimes it's not pretty, really, and shit doesn't get pretty, and sometimes it hits the fan, and it's been quite. I enjoy my work somewhat. It's not like the best in the world. It's not what I would choose to do forever, but I do enjoy my work. It's just the fact that it's been. By the way, yeah, my dogs are gonna go off. Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, I hear them already, and I don't know what's happening, dude. Um, and I was about to touch upon a couple of subjects that I really wanted to touch upon. But yeah. Anyway, um. I do enjoy my work, but so far it's been quite tiring because there's been a lot of projects and stuff like that. At the same time, I'm very happy for that because it's good to be busy, right? It's good to have projects. It's good to have things going on in your life. It's good to see people like trust you and put your responsibilities upon you. That is fantastic. So I don't want to complain about that. I just want to say that I've been tired because of that, and it's just the fact that sometimes when you have to do extra hours, that's when I have to complain a little bit because those are not paid. And sometimes you have to do it because you're, responsible, but also because you have the extra things going on in your life and in your work, and you want to deliver, on the date that you have to do it right or whatever the hell, essentially. So when I have to do those extra hours and I'm not able to like stream or to do something else, like literally just sleep or whatever the hell I want, um that's what bothers me, and that's what gets me, and it's really too bad when you find yourself, because that's, I understand that I'm getting paid for it, but I'm getting paid for the 9 hours a day, not the extra hours. So that's what kind of pisses me off sometimes Something that also, it's that's the little thing, honestly. The other thing is that it sucks to get into this type of subject, I guess, but it's also good to talk about it. It's good to rant about it, but I'm not gonna get into too much detail. But I had been speaking to a girl for about, for quite a while now, I think. But and, she seemed interested in me and so on. The usual thing. Things were going well, and it was like, I was feeling very well. But a few days ago, shit hit the fan. Let's just say that, and um, we are not in the best terms at the moment, and I don't see a way out of it. But that's okay. It's good to what I'm because I can look at it in hindsight right now. But I can look at it in hindsight, obviously, because at the time it was hell as it was happening. But it's good that we reach a point of no return when it comes to what we want, and we can we can go ahead and move our separate ways. But every time that kind of happens, you feel bad, and I feel that that's human. I feel that that's okay. Um, I feel okay saying that right now. I feel okay saying, it hit me when I was going through it at the moment. But I feel okay saying that, and I'm perfectly fine with people, moving their own weight and then going the separate ways, um, because it's better to not waste my time. I feel like it's not a matter of money. A lot of people talk about it as if it was that every relationship is about money. Yes, sometimes it is about money. Yes, you do have to put in extra resources to be with somebody. Sometimes you have to pay for two. Sometimes, and sometimes you can also split the bill and so on. But that's a whole other subject. But I feel like the most important thing that you waste, and that the most important resource that you put into a relationship, not waste, is time. And I'm very thankful that she's not wasting mine anymore. um it took a while, though. It took a couple of months. uh I say talking, but I guess we were kind of dating, and it went to hell. It was never a proper relationship. It was never formal, so I guess that's we can say that not no nothing, no huge loss there, but it kind of sucks when it happens. So that was the main thing. I started off because I usually do this, by the way. And this is very um typical of mine. Whenever I have to touch upon a subject that I don't want to touch upon, I go ahead and I go off with, and I start with a little subject, like a small one. Like, for example, oh, by the way, I've been tired because of work. Yeah, that kind of like affects you, of course, because when you're tired, everything seems like it sucks. But it's not like the main subject, right? Again, I'm not gonna touch upon what happened and so on. It's just that we hit a point of no return in which we know that it's not going to work, and it seems like we're taking it quite mature, because we know it's not going to work, and we know it's not worth to continue this way. Sometimes I have a I have developed quite an interesting relationship with my mom in the pandemic. So I went ahead and talked to her about this, because I wanted to have some feedback onto, like, if I was right, if she was right, or because we both can be right. And if I was making a mistake, or she was making a mistake, or something like that. And she went ahead and she told me that I was right, and she also had a point, and this is why we should for real end it. And I was like, that's what I thought myself. So it's good that you have the same opinion. I went ahead and talked to a friend of mine, my best friend, actually, and she told me uh the same thing. It's like, you have to understand that um it's better for things to be happening early, than for you guys to take, I don't know, 6 months to continue with something that's broken. And like, yeah, that's it. That seems quite fair, and I'm very happy that I got those two opinions going on, and the feedback, because that way I know that I'm making the right choice, and I'm very thankful for that. I gotta say, I'm very thankful for the extra opinions, and the uh you know letting people know what's happening and telling them the details, for sure. And then finally the dog shut the fuck up. But yeah, like, going ahead and then people, what happened, people I trust, and then those people being like, and the most important thing is that they were neutral. They weren't like, oh, you're so right and she's so wrong. They were like, no, it's just a matter of two forces going against each other, and when having to choose, you're gonna have to choose yourself, and she's gonna have to choose herself. So there you go. And but that, at the same time when it happened, and because it happened a couple of days ago, that sucked. So that means that I have to go back to. I've been thinking about it anyway, because I've said it multiple times on Genshin when I was playing it. But I have to go back to Tinder, I guess, and so on. And when I was super down, again a couple of days ago, and then I have two things to tell. Number one, yesterday it was 9/11, right? No, I'm not gonna touch upon the very obvious subject of, like, the awful thing that happened in the US. I'm not even educated enough upon the subject because I'm not from the US, so I will not touch upon that subject. I kind of want to touch upon another one. I apologize. But on 9/11 of 2007, Graduation by Kanye West came out, right? Bear with me, okay? I'm not trying to be insensitive, because I obviously think that what happened on 9/11 in the US was awful, and I'm very sorry that happened. I wish that none of that ever happened to anybody at all. But when it comes to I was reading the news and I was reading about that, and then suddenly it came up on Twitter, on the rap section that I follow. It was like, oh, by the way, happy birthday to Graduation. And I'm like, I'm gonna blast this album because it's one of my favorite ones, right? And it's like the birthday of it, it's the anniversary. So I went ahead and this is I brought up the subject because this is why I remembered about the album. I always loved it, and I usually listen to Good Morning like almost every day. But I went ahead and I played it because I saw that, and I was like, that's a weird day to drop an album, but whatever. Nothing is weird with Kanye anymore, I guess. So I went ahead and I listened to it when I was down, and it helped me out so much. And I'm gonna seem insane, right? But I feel like everybody copes their own way, right? And in my case, I cope through music, and it was really a fantastic experience. To go ahead and to listen to an album that you love, you go back to a place that you truly feel at home at, and the album helps you out so much when it comes to like happy you up and being like, hey, by the way, like, you're gonna be fine, I guess. Because, like, it's you who you're talking about, it's you who we're talking about, so you hype yourself up, and get up, and you'll do great. And I feel like many people step over Kanye's work because of the controversies that he's found himself into. But if you try to look at him just as an artist, you're gonna find out that he has so much to say that you can relate to, and that you can, because he's very emotional. And I talked about this on the past VOD for Just Chatting, interestingly enough. But I think that both Kanye and Drake, I'm not against any of those guys, obviously, but both Kanye and Drake have that how to say it, that vibe of talking about their feelings and about their personal lives very openly, and instead of talking about the usual things that many rappers go ahead and do, and instead of trying to say things and bars just because they seem hard, they go ahead and they open themselves up to be relatable. And that's what happened with me on Graduation by Kanye West. And I was very happy to go back to that album. I've been listening to Donda as well, but I went to the Graduation, and it picked me up. And yesterday I was feeling well, and today I'm feeling even better. This is why I decided to have the just chatting section to go ahead and rant about this, because I'm feeling better because of having that type of experience, and being like, we're gonna be fine because it's me who we're talking about. So yeah, I just wanted to say that thing, the life does get a bit lonely, I guess, and difficult sometimes, but you have to get through it. And the only way to get through it is to remind yourself that you have a value, and then you have to go ahead and continue with your life no matter what happens. The second thing that I wanted to say, yes, I'm probably gonna have to go back to Tinder or to meeting, people to social media and whatever the hell, which does suck. To be fair with you guys, it does suck. I don't enjoy it because I don't know how the dating scene works everybody else, but here it kind of any everywhere else is what I meant to say. But here it's kind of dry. People take it either too slow or too fast, and um I don't know. It's just it kind of sucks. It's not as active as other places. And sometimes people are not as interesting, or they're not they don't like the same stuff as you do, and you have nothing in common. So it just kind of sucks. So I went ahead and I talked to my mom about it, because I wanted to get her opinion and stuff, and I also wanted to get my best friend's opinion and stuff. My best friend did not think the same thing as my mom, but my mom did tell me something very interesting. She was like, and why don't you try to be friends with people, before you try to date them? And I was like, because that doesn't happen anymore, and it sucks. And it's not like I don't want to, it's because I've tried, and it usually goes down in an awful way. And I've tried it before, and it usually happens that I just quite simply do not see the person as something else than a friend after dating, or after being a friend with them, and then they happen to catch feelings, or the other way around. I go ahead and catch feelings, and they don't see me the same way. So I ended up, if I end up catching feelings, then that means I end up, hearing the stories of her going out with other people, and it's gonna suck. And let's be honest, if you go through that, it kind of sucks if you have the feelings. Um, if you don't, then that's fine. You can survive it. But I feel like everybody goes through it. It's not a matter of just guys. It's a matter of also girls as well. I bet it sucks for them as well when they find themselves being friend with a guy, and they happen to catch feelings, and then they have to watch them date anybody else because they don't see them the same way. This is an universal thing. So that sucks, but also because I've had um, plenty of awful experiences as well. When you think you know somebody for quite a while, and then they happen to disappoint you. That sucks, because not only do you lose a friend, but you also lose the potential of a date or so on. And that it happened to me. And again, I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but it happened to me like a couple of years ago. uh a friend of mine that had been a friend of mine for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, we happened to both catch feelings, and we thought that it was gonna be great, but it was a car crash. Sometimes you have to understand that there's chemistry or there isn't, and we didn't understand it. We tried that for we tried to make the transition, and it just didn't work. Maybe it'll happen to me, and it'll happen to me naturally, and maybe it'll be fine, and it'll be fun. But maybe it will not, and I will love to take advantage of my 20s to go ahead and date, rather than taking it super seriously. And because again, this past relationship wasn't really serious, so, but it still hurt, but it wasn't really serious. So I want to take advantage of that right now, and you know going into a friendship with the prospect of a relationship kind of seems like you're gonna take quite a while into it, and maybe you're not ready for that. Maybe I'm not ready for that. Maybe I am, but maybe I'm not. So I'm not trying to look out for that. I'm trying to take it my own pace and my own way. um but yeah, I appreciate that type of, because she, like, my mom is super sweet when it comes to giving advice. um but I was like, I appreciate it, but I don't feel like that's gonna work for me right now. So yeah, I'm sorry. But it's funny, and I would love to get feedback on this. Like, is this something that has happened to you guys? Is this something that has happened to anybody, in which a proper transition from a friendship to a relationship actually happens and it goes well? Because I'm sure as hell I've tried, but it didn't go well for me. Um, so maybe it's the PTSD with talking, and maybe I should give it a shot again. Who knows? But yeah, it happens. Um, but yeah, I that's the thing that I wanted to touch upon. It's funny because we're talking about work, to talking about the real subject, I guess, to talking about Kanye, and then my mom's advice, and then we're back here. And this is why I enjoy ranting, and I enjoy doing so. I used to do it when I was playing Hades, but I realized that it must be frustrating to see somebody who's not very good at the game um, go off on their lives. I was like, oh no, then people are gonna hate me if they catch this stream or this VOD, because I'm gonna be talking about life instead of, like, actually going Hydra or something like that. But yeah, on to another subject that I want to touch upon, and then I know how I'm gonna close this segment, and then we're gonna continue. Hate rates and Twitch. It seems like quite an interesting topic to follow up on. We weren't part of something like that, and we haven't been part of something like that. But we were, like, we saw some signs of that happening. Somewhat. I'm explaining what happened, okay? So yesterday we were streaming, right? I was streaming Genshin, and I was having a lot of fun. I had a recurrent viewer with me, and I started to get follow, 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 and I was looking at it at the usernames, and they were recognized bots. So I was like, well, is this it? Is this going to happen right now? And I was super prepared for it because I had the commands ready and I have everything ready. I'm super aware of what's going to happen, and I know how to handle it. It just never happened to me. Um, and I had the follow notifications on, so I was hearing tananan, 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 right? And how I was getting like a bunch of followers and stuff like that, and I was like, well, that's gonna be interesting, and it's gonna make it seem like I suck as a streamer, because they're gonna be like, if somebody catches this on Twitch or on YouTube, or maybe like right now even on Twitch, a new person come true, you're gonna be like, oh, look at this dude, he doesn't even acknowledge his new followers. Dude, that's not the case, like, at all. It's not the case. I appreciate every new follower as long as they're real. In this case, we're talking about bots. So it didn't happen. It actually ended up not happening. I banned them. Like, I had to take a break. So yesterday's episode of Kenshin was supposed to be 2 hours, but then I cut the recording off, and then I went on to the another I went off to just chatting for a second, and I started banning the bots, and there were plenty of them. So after I was done, I was talking to the real viewers, and I was like, hey, by the way, what you just witnessed, because the chat was telling me, even chat went ahead and told me, like, hey, by the way, you're getting a lot of followers right now. And I was like, yeah, about that, because not everybody knows what's happening, right? I understand. So I was like, yeah, about that. Those are not real people. And I'm not gonna acknowledge the bots on the Genshin video, because it has nothing to do with it. I can acknowledge it now on just chatting. I have no problem with doing that, because this is a space for me to rant. We just talk about relationship anyway. We can talk about bots and then Twitch and stuff like that. It is my decision to do whatever I want with this segment, but yeah. And I was like, I'm not gonna do it on Genshin right now, but I want to go ahead and tell you guys what's happening. So I went ahead and started talking. If you are unaware, just so you know, the hate rates are what happens when a channel or a person who runs a bunch of bots goes ahead and rates your channel, and people go off in chat and they start saying racial slurs or homophobic slurs or something along those lines to the streamer, in order to ruin the vibe of the stream, I guess. And I have a bit of a spider right here. Come on, buddy, go down. There you go. You're back on the table. You didn't see it. I don't think the camera was good enough to catch it, because it was really a small spider. But there it goes. It's on the table, but it should be fine. I just don't want to swallow it or something like that. I'll blow it away. But yeah, it's okay if you're not aware of what's happening, I guess. But it is essentially like, they try to ruin the vibe of the stream, but also like to get the streamer in trouble or something like that along those lines. There are tools to handle it, and there was a day of Twitch happening as well, and I participated on it. It was on September the 1st. But yeah, That's what happens essentially, and people would like to start following you so that they also get privileges to your follower only chat in case you activate it. And I was ready for that to happen, but I went ahead and banned all the bots, and they went away. Today they're not here, which is fantastic news essentially. So yeah, as to and I've seen it happen with other streamers as well. So I had to take measures, and it really sucks. I had to take extra measures, and what I did was I took off follower notifications, and from now on I will acknowledge followers and chatters, but only if you do both. And it sucks because it's just one person ruining it. It's just for now though, but it's just one person ruin it for everybody else, because it means that you have to, if in order for me to say, hey, thank you for the follow, I'm gonna have to see you chatting. And that sucks because I know that many people just want to follow for whatever reason, and then lurk and support the streamer. But you have to understand that I don't want to be acknowledging bots and thinking that they're good guys when they're not. And it had happened before, by the way. You can find VODs in which I say, hey, thank you, and it turns out to be a bot at the end of the stream. And now I can recognize them, and I'm like, I don't want to think that they're okay. I want to ban them right away. I don't want to thank them when they're not real people. I don't want to let them come true and ruin the vibe of the stream, ruin my vibe. And that was something that got to me, not yesterday, but just like it's been such a hot topic in the community of Twitch that I kind of wanted to touch upon that, because I feel like everybody's a target. And yeah, it sucks that we have to talk about this. I guess it would be fantastic if Twitch actually did work and banned everybody and sued everybody and so on. But we have to wait until they actually do it. So far we can only take action ourselves and ban the motherfuckers, I guess. Is what we have to do. But yeah, I took time, but that also takes a toll on the streamer for sure. And I asked for a little bit of empathy. Please, just a bit of empathy is what I'm asking for when it comes to acknowledging followers and so on. And just in general, this is for real my room, by the way, where we're streaming. I don't have the best equipment, so again, I apologize for the dog, but I can't control that. I can't control a lot of things. Sometimes I cannot even control the weather and so on, and it happens. But yeah, I ask for a lot of forgiveness from people who expect an absolute the best quality and state of the art stream. I apologize if I cannot provide that right now. And I also ask for forgiveness from new followers who come through, and they might be like, hey, I followed you, why didn't you say something? Because I don't know if you're a bot or no. So please do comment or chat with me, and I'll acknowledge that, and then I'll thank you for the follow. But until you do that, then I'll probably just not acknowledge you, because I'm afraid of doing it with bots. Maybe I don't know, in 2 weeks time it could happen that we can try again with follower notifications, and then also acknowledging every new follower, and that will help me out a lot, and it'll be nice to have things back to normal. But yeah, maybe in a couple of weeks when maybe Twitch will have sorted the shit out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, hold on, my nose is itchy. Ugh, okay. I don't know why it's always itchy when I'm on stream. But yeah, those were the two types of topics that I wanted to touch upon. Please, of course, do have empathy towards the streamer. Sometimes, the streamer might not be in the best mood, and it's because of external issues like that. And I guess I will be fine. Obviously, nobody has to worry about anything. I just wanted to rant and to vent. In reality, I will be fine. I'm out of something that could have been worse, and that's important. And then do if you were unaware of the what was happening with the bots and so on, now you know, and hopefully you'll understand why some streamers react the way they react. Some small streamers might even have the chat to follower only, and so on. And it's because of shit like this. Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks from for anybody really. But do we have to deal with it? Yeah, until Twitch decides to be responsible. They do provide the tools, but at the same time, it's been quite a while since it happened. Like, it's been happening for months now, and for some reason they cannot find their IP to actually ban them. And it seems like Twitch should have, with all the money they got, to be honest, Twitch should have the resources to actually track down whoever is doing it and then take action. Because it makes no sense that they're allowing that. And it feels like they are allowing it. I'm sorry, but it truly feels like it, because we're talking about a multi-million company who has all the resources in the world to go ahead and find whoever is doing that and programming those bots, and they're not doing so. They're not handling it until, like, we actually talk about it, and until we protest, which is insane. I don't understand what, like, so many people have reported those bots, and somehow, some way, they escape the system. I don't get it. I just don't get it. It just is not something that should happen. If you're if maybe they have the interns, run the fucking IP banning, or run the fucking bot tracking, which will make sense, to be fair, the way shit works out. But yeah, I don't know what the hell. But yeah, I guess I wanted to rant about that. Sorry about that noise. I just wanted to bring out my phone real quick. Sorry if I flashed you as well. Before I go, because this is like, it will reach 30 minutes of me ranting. I think that we can go. It's been fun to talk about life. Hopefully many people feel this way. Hopefully, it could happen that somebody watching this right now, or watching this on YouTube, was like, it could be a starting streamer, and they could be like, if this guy can do it while dogs are barking around him, then I can do it too. Hopefully the sound wasn't unbearable. Or maybe they were like, he feels like a true human, which is something important to achieve. Maybe somebody's going through a breakup, and again, I don't want to call my shit a breakup, but we can call it like, we reach a point of no return in a possible relationship. It was kind of dating, but not really. Or kind of serious, but not really. But if you're going through that, I want to tell you that it'll be fine. You'll be fine. I truly do believe this with all my heart and soul. You will do just fine. You will be amazing, and I want you to understand that you can get through this. Go listen to Kanye West Graduation if you want to. If not, then please let me know your comfort albums and your comfort music. What you listen to make yourself feel better. That is one of my albums that I love. Sorry for the messy hair. No, I'm not even sorry, because I do like it. I like the way it's looking right now. I don't care. Messy hair, sorry, not sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. And maybe, if you're going through that, I just want you to understand that sometimes it's better to end it early and not waste your time. Sometimes people don't want the same things that you want, and that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to find those type of points, and it's good to acknowledge them and then move away from it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there you go. That's what I want to keep out. When it comes to like the stream, and the part of just chatting, and also I'm gonna do a very cheap blog right now before we end it, because I have an Instagram account, and I here on stream I try to be as funny as I can be, I guess, and as entertaining as I can be, and then show off my personality and so on. I know I've been letting myself go with when it comes to Genshin and freaking Lisa as well, but showing my taste, like for example how much I love Dragon Ball and so on. But I kind of want to read something real quick, because I enjoy writing. I enjoy writing a lot, and I wrote a couple of words. They're not a poem or something like that. I just want to go ahead and read them real quick. If you want to go ahead and read what I write from time to time, inspired of events of my life, I guess you can go ahead and do it through Instagram. If you don't, that's fine. I'm gonna read it anyway, and hopefully you'll enjoy it somewhat. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and because what happens is I usually take like a picture I really like, and then I post the text below it as the description, and I enjoy like just using that as a way to express myself. And also, before anybody asks, the girl doesn't follow me on the public Instagram, so she doesn't know that I wrote this. Because a lot of people can be like, "Oh, look at him being so petty," throwing indirects at her or whatever. No, not really. She didn't read this, and I don't care. I don't want her. Not like I wouldn't want her, but I wouldn't care if she read it or not. I did it for myself mainly, mainly and almost like exclusively for myself, and then for people to relate. And I don't feel like she needs to read it. You know what I'm saying? It will be petty if this was an indirect to her, and knowing that she will read it or see it, but she has no idea that this account exists. We weren't like, again, it wasn't like so serious to let her know that I actually, like, for example, I stream, or I have a public Instagram and I have my private one. It's important to separate both. But yeah, just so you know, I was prepared for those type of comments. People can be quite cynical. They can be like, "Oh, look at him doing this," and I'm like, "How did you come up with that idea? Why did you think that I'm doing that?" And it's usually because they do it themselves. So yeah, don't let people judge you. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and read it, and then I can go ahead and end it. Hopefully, I can read it nicely without putting myself on like in the frame of the camera, because I do not want people to be flashed by the cell phone. By the way, the Instagram is JD_MM22. It goes like this. It's not a poem, by the way. It's just like kind of like, an essay, but not super long. Life is already lonely enough. Adulthood feels like a solo trip that can be quite unforgiving, but also unforgettable in many wonderful ways. I want to I'm gonna take breaks while I read it. This is truly like one of the most relatable things I think I've read, and I think I've wrote in my life. It can be like a solo trip. If you ever like travel alone, then you understand that it can be quite lonely, and sometimes it can be unforgiving. Sometimes things do not go the way that you want them to go, but at the same time, you see so many wonderful things when you're solo traveling. It's amazing and it's wonderful, and you shouldn't see life as a negative thing. You should see it as a bittersweet thing. It's not sweet forever. It's gonna be bittersweet. It's gonna have ups and downs. It's a bittersweet ride. There you go. That can't be described as just one thing. It can't. But if life is already lonely enough, how come some people can make you feel alone where you're talking to them? When you're supposedly together, you feel alone together. People can come and go. Some are truly wonderful, but damn, some are there to take from you. Never to give, never to consider you. Sometimes they might not see you as an equal. And this is where we touch upon the subject of relationships, and how sometimes people can kind of see you as, being with you is like doing you a favor. And that therefore, because I don't know, because they feel like their presence is so incredible, they can only take from you, and they never want to consider how you're feeling, which is like the number one sign of somebody being toxic. Being like, "Oh, I'm doing you a favor by being with you." No, no, it's supposed to be 50-50. And I'm talking about romantic relationships at the moment. But being honest, it can happen also with family, and it can happen also with friendship. You can feel alone being surrounded by people, and something important to touch upon right now is the fact that essentially, when you are in that type of situation and people don't want to consider you, you have to move on by yourself. It's easier to say it than to actually do it. But please do like if you are in a relationship that has this type of dynamic, go away. Just like you're better off alone than being with people who don't want to consider you, who think that being your friend is like doing you a favor. What the hell are you talking about? Like, how dare you even say that? Do you realize that I'm actually like a fantastic person? And so, like, I'm not talking only about me, I'm talking about you as well. You have so much to offer, and you're always giving, and then nobody's giving you anything. Like, I'm not even talking about, physical touch or whatever the hell. No, no, no. I'm talking about like making you feel better, making you feel heard. That's not, or giving you money. Okay, no, we don't want money. We're talking, well, we do want it, but not that way. We want to get we want to feel heard, and we want to feel that there's company within the company that we're being surrounded by. But yeah, this is quite a serious just chatting section. I apologize, but yeah, moving onwards. Yeah, if people don't see you as an equal, leave. You are not more valuable than other people, but neither is anybody more valuable than you are. We're all on the same level, and if people don't want to see you 50-50, they don't want to see you in the same shadow, in the same way as them, leave. Just leave, okay? Anyway, continuing onwards. Life's already so lonely, and yet some find ways to make you feel even lonelier. Some find ways to build up the emotional protective walls you were trying to bring down in order to love again. This is like, a bit of a metaphor when it comes to like the way people sometimes handle themselves, and the way people sometimes isolate themselves in order to not be hurt. Something that I can personally relate. Sometimes you try to bring those goals down and actually like like somebody and be with somebody, and it can be, again, it can be not only romantic, but it can be friendship and so on. And sometimes people kind of ruin it for you, and then you feel so hurt that you want to go back to isolating yourself. So be careful. Please keep your no, I didn't say please, I apologize. So be careful. Keep your circle small. Trust not at the very start of meeting people. That's important. Do be kind. Do be lovely. But not everyone must have access to the privilege that is your company and loyalty, to your love and your friendship. Because not everybody deserves it, and not everybody will appreciate it. Will appreciate you as you deserve to be appreciated. And I kind of botched it because the dog started barking again. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say here is like, do be kind and do be lovely is like, keep being who you are, and always be respectful and be open to meeting new people and treat them with kindness and respect. But like, again, not everybody deserves your friendship right away. Not everybody deserves, what you will do in a relationship right away. You have to keep in mind that you have your value, and not everybody deserves to see the benefits of being in a relationship, in a friendship, in whatever, with you. You have the right to be picky, you have the right to choose, and you have the right to be like, maybe this person isn't really good for me, so I'm gonna go. Stay awake, safe and sound. Put yourself first, and put your inner circle first. You'll add the right people with time and effort eventually. The end. And a friend of mine posted straighten your back, because I posted a picture of me. I posted a picture of me walking, and you can see my back a little bit curved. But yeah, anyway, what I essentially you have to keep in mind, and you have to remind yourself that you have the right people around you, and if you want to add more people, you should be careful and you should be patient. You have to remind yourself that not everybody's going to appreciate you the way you are, and that's fine. Not everybody has to understand you, not everybody has to be close to you. You just have to let go and understand that. And I guess that's what I was trying to say when I was writing that. And again, it feels like maybe somehow, some way, people will need to hear this. I feel like maybe somebody will find it, and they will find it useful. Um, if the sound wasn't too awful because of what's happening around me, but but yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. And again, if you want to read more of stuff that I have to say sometimes, from time to time, not all the time, but from time to time, you can go ahead and read it on Instagram, JD underscore MM22. And if you enjoyed this section and if you're watching live right now, please do consider following. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please do consider subscribing. Again, I'm very appreciative of anybody who listened to this, and hopefully many people can relate to what I'm saying. But yeah, that's what I have to say at the moment. And thank you for joining. Is something else that I have to say. And yeah, life goes on. Life goes on, and it always goes on, and you just have to keep yourself up and to keep moving forward. I read a beautiful quote not so long ago, and I reposted it on my Twitter as well, but it was like, life can only be understood looking at it backwards, but it can only be lived forwards. So sometimes you don't understand what's happening at the moment, but you understand as time goes on. And sometimes you can only, not sometimes, but you can only continue living in the present and moving onwards to the future. And that means that, you can look back at the past. That's fine. But, don't stay looking for way too long. Just understand what happened, understand that you grew from it, and then move on, Yeah. Okay, that feels like a nice ending, so I'm gonna end it right here. Again, thank you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please do subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, hopefully. But yeah.